Believe social media at your own peril, at your own cost, because you gotta believe now, be thinking one thing, and that's not what it is. Hi loves, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Oman Damati. If this is the first time you're seeing this lovely face, ensure it's not your last. Please do well to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if this is not your first time and you've been seeing me and you've been supporting this hustle of mine as a content creator on YouTube, kindly keep coming back. It does so much for me, and it keeps me going. Really just keeps me going to want to create more content, brainstorm all the time. What do these people actually like to hear today? And that leads me to my topic today. I like to have conversations on relatable topics, and one of those things is ourselves, self-love, and understanding who we are in Christ. Today's topic is about comparison. A lot of us go through this state of comparison where we always compare ourselves. Remember how you go through Instagram and you're scrolling endlessly and you're seeing how everybody's doing great. And I hope you know that these people are showing the refined sides of themselves and not the struggling aspect of themselves. Because they're showing you this refined side of themselves does not mean that they're not struggling with something. I mean, everybody wants to show their good sides, right? And so half of the time you're seeing your friends are getting married or someone is getting proposed to. Oh my days, it's like 2025. I thought 2024 was the year where people were getting like proposing to people, but this year it started with a banger, proposal and proposals and weddings upon weddings. I mean, I'm happy for them, but there is always going to be this voice in your head that tells you, oh, you're not doing enough. Look at, you're getting older and you don't even have a potential partner or boyfriend and all that stuff, and you just make yourself feel horrible by comparing yourself with other people. Or your friend got a car and you're like, Jesus. There are plethora of things that you can actually see on the internet, and you will blatantly, like, look down on what God has done in your life or what God is doing in your life, and you completely forget what the beautiful things that are happening in your life that God is making happen. And even if it is a slow process, it does not mean that He's not doing something in the background or doing something underneath. So we see all of these things and we feel less of ourselves because we have not gotten that big job or that big money or that big car or proposed to that dream man. Trust me, I don't know how to explain this. I had to get myself out of this week. This week I was a lot. Last week and this week, where I was just, like consistently thinking to myself that, hey, I've gotten to that stage, haven't I? Where I would have serious things happen in my life, but it feels like I'm just beginning or starting my life. And the truth is that your blessings can come anytime. My own prayer for myself, half of the time when I pray for God's blessings upon my life, is that He should give me the wisdom to be able to handle those blessings, not just have those blessings and then squander whatever blessings that He has given to me, be it financial or any other aspect, or like misuse the opportunity. So I feel like at this stage in my life, I feel like God is trying to help me become mature, not just in the spirit but in my mind, to also handle the blessings that are about to come my way. And I feel like if you're on your own right now, you're feeling like people are doing way better than you, I feel like you should sit down and have a conversation with God and ask Him, what are the things you want me to learn in this season? There is a lot of delay on my end. Just have that conversation with a clear conscience and with a clear mind. Like, just be yourself, be vulnerable with God. And if you have to cry and it's paining you that badly, cry. Just have that one-on-one and heart-to-heart conversation with Him, because He listens. He always does. Because He's not answering your prayer now does not mean that He's not answering at all. I hope you know that. If you measure your own growth and timeline with someone else's, it's like you're making mockery of God. And in my opinion, that is not wise, because I went to church, and I remember when I talked about half the time when I go to church and whatever I was going through during the week, the pastor, I don't even know how God makes it happen, that the pastor kind of like has a conversation about or preaches about that particular topic or something around that topic. I feel like half of the time God is just telling me to relax, calm down. It's not. It's you cannot measure your time now with someone else's. The fact that they have gone this far, you don't know the hard work they've put into it. Or half the time, sometimes some people have their hands in something dirty. Not that I'm throwing any shade, but that's the reality of things. And you want things quickly, you want things to be done for you quickly. And half the time when we want things to be done for us quickly, we want something sharp, 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 we find ourselves doing things that we're not meant to do so we can get to that particular point of comfort where we are like, oh, I've made it in life. When you did not go about it in a genuine way. So the best thing to do is to wait in God on God's time. My favorite verse, like I always sing here on YouTube, is Jeremiah 29:11. And you know what that says. The devil tries to put comparison in our minds. And as a matter of fact, I feel like comparison is a kind of sin that comparing ourselves to other people is a kind of sin that we think it's not a sin, but it's very subtle. Because it's like you're saying, God, I don't trust you enough. And God wants us to trust him. He wants us to actually believe that he's there and he's working, he's doing something for you. I've heard of testimonies, and I feel like half of the time these testimonies give me hope and faith that God is cooking something for me in the back, cooking something for me underneath. So I don't want to carry my mind, and I don't want to fixate my mind on things that are not there yet. I should just focus on the blessings that God has given to me now. So half of the time when I listen to people's testimonies and hear what God has done for them, it gives me the energy boost that my spirit and soul needs to know that God is cooking something underneath. And I don't bother myself with anything. I try not to bother myself because I'm a human being, and half of the time I'll fall into the trap of comparing myself with people. At this point in my life, I feel like God is trying to teach me maturity, like I said, and helping me get to my purpose. What is his will, not my will? If you remember my YouTube video, I think I'll put it up there so you can watch that video. There were so many things that I unpacked on that video, so you should go listen. I wrote a few things to encourage you. I cannot say it off head because half the time when I write it, I cannot really like say it off head, but I'll try to convey the message in such a way that encourages you. During the week, when I was thinking of a topic, something just told me, why not talk about comparison and how you've managed to find your way out of it? Because I'm not completely out of it. I'm not going to lie, because I'm a human being. The part of me that wants to compare myself will be there, but I always catch it and say, oh, it's good that they're going through this and God is helping them and they're expressing God's blessings. God is blessing them. My own time is coming. I'm not going to, instead I'll rejoice with them. I'm not going to start having any kind of envious tendency or jealousy towards them. So I wrote here that if you find yourself constantly comparing yourself with other people, here are 3 things that have helped me that I wrote down when I was reading the word at some point, and I was like, God, like what's going on in my life? One of the things I wrote is limit social media consumption. I am a social media guru craze. I am. If you leave me, I will keep scrolling on IG. Half the time I get tired of it and I just drop my phone. And when I drop my phone, I leave it for hours. But one thing I'm beginning to learn how to do is when I wake up in the morning, the first thing that I consume is God's word and not social media. Not consuming it in an unhealthy way. I simply just do my devotion, meal prep, do some cleaning in the house, and half the time I'll do all of those things and it's almost 12 p.m. I have not checked my Instagram, I have not checked my WhatsApp. I'm just playing music and basking in God's goodness and enjoying his presence. Limit social media consumption. A lot of times what is put on Instagram, TikTok, or whatever social media platform you are constantly on is lies. They are lies, and it's probably not true like you think they are. So try to limit social media consumption. Like I said under here, sometimes we just need to take a break. Social media shows the highlight reels, not the struggles, to protect your peace. I am learning to limit social media. It is hard because social media is addictive. It was created for people to be addicted to social media. And half the time, people come on that platform and they lie, and you will eat it and swallow it and feel like that is how life is. Or half the time, people are genuinely saying the truth and you compare your life with theirs and all that stuff. That should not be your case. Like my friend would say, believe social media at your own peril, at your own cost, because you gotta believe now, be thinking one thing, and that's not what it is. Or half the time you're comparing yourself to somebody that's, I don't know, just limit your social media consumption. To help a lot. The second thing that have helped me, always helping me, is celebrate others without feeling less. Remember I talked about it earlier. What I said here was someone else's blessings doesn't mean there's less for you. God's timing is perfect, and what's meant for you will come. So when people are celebrating that, oh, God has done it for me, you celebrate with them. Be genuinely happy for them, not faking a smile and in the back you're angry. No, don't do that, because God sees that and He's probably not going to be happy about that move. So simply be happy for other people. One thing I've figured out, or one thing someone told me one time, or that I've held on to, is that if every other person around me is experiencing goodness, the blessings of God, and one thing or that is happening to them and they're happy and all that, I feel like if this is happening in my circle, I feel like it's going to be happening for me one day, to just click. And it gets me excited. I kind of start anticipating for it, like, oh my days, if this is happening for my guy, he's getting married, or if this is happening to my friend, she has been promoted at her job, my own time is coming. I don't know when and how. All I need to do is do what? Trust God, trust the process, and just focus my eyes on Him. Because waiting I get again, I cannot go and do any other thing. I cannot go and say Babalawo. The only person I can look up to is God. So the best thing I can do is celebrate with them. The very last thing that I feel like is helping me in this time with comparison, that God is helping me with comparison, I wrote here, was focus on your own growth. Instead of looking at what others are achieving, ask yourself, am I better than I was yesterday? That's the only comparison that matters. You have to look at yourself in the mirror and say, personal growth is very important. Me, myself, what am I doing to get to the place that I want to get to? You stand in front of the mirror and ask yourself certain questions like, what am I doing to help myself be better? Focus on your own growth. People are doing their own thing. They have put in a lot of work, hard work, as a matter of fact. I don't know if you guys know this Eric guy. I watched Eric. He always puts out content that I really, really do enjoy. And I love the Igbo accent thing. It's very, very interesting to see. But he said he spits facts and he's teaching people a lot of things. And half the time, you don't even know that those things are happening. And he brings it to your own attention and he kind of like talks about them. It is a great way to connect and relate with him, because in a way, I like the whole Igbo accent thing because I kind of grew up around that. So I'm like, it is just interesting to see. And do you know how long he has been doing this whole content creation thing? I was in secondary school when he started this whole content creation thing. I think he said 2012. He started pursuing that, and he even talked about how he was confused and like he was in and out, he didn't know what he was supposed to do. And eventually, look at him now with how many thousand followers, people listening to him, people listening to what he has to say. How much more you? And these are the stories that kind of give me the ginger to actually want to do what I'm currently doing right now. And start, no matter how small it is. If you only have a tripod or you just have your camera, fix it somewhere on your window and do your videos. Start somewhere. Don't say, because I don't have all those things, that I cannot get there. It's not true. You can't get there. So don't make yourself feel that. Focus on your goals. Stop comparing yourself. Oh, if I had started long that time, I'm sure I would have gone far. I used to tell myself that. If I keep doing that to myself, I am not doing any good to myself. So I might as well just focus on what is happening in my life right now and try to be better than compare myself with other people that their journey is different from mine. You could start now and you blow up in the next 2-3 years or 1 year or 1 month. You could do anything that you set your heart to do, and it will take 10 years for you to get there. It does not mean that you don't speak to God and you feel like God is not doing something for you in your life. So please, 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 these are the 3 things that I've created, and God has helped me put them down to actually have this conversation with you as regarding comparison. If you notice, this video is very short. It was meant to be short. I'm trying to learn to make shorter videos. Like I said, number 1, limit social media consumption. Number 2, celebrate others without feeling less. And 3, focus on your own growth. I believe they would help you. They're helping me somehow, and not somehow, they're really helping me, and I believe they'll help you too. And on a final note, I wrote here on my notepad and I said, God's plan for your life is unfolding. Even when you can't see it, don't let comparison steal your peace or your trust in Him. Keep trusting Him. He has something cooking somewhere for you. So don't feel pressured. God's time is the best, and your time is coming. Just trust Him more. Yeah? Okay, thank you so much for watching. My name is Amanda Mati, and I'm signing out. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Love you. Mwah.